What's up, everyone? Steele here with another episode of Get Real with Real Estate. This is episode 66. And we've touched on this topic before. Today I'm going to be talking about what goes into if you want to buy a house and also you need to sell your house at the same time. It's a question that we get all the time, so we're kind of revisiting it. And we actually just met with some clients this past week who are in that same situation. So we kind of went through this whole thing with them. And again, I think it's something that comes up all the time that I think is great to revisit. So anytime you're looking to buy a home and you need to sell your home, that's known in real estate as what's called a contingent sale. Essentially what it means is your purchase is contingent on you selling that home. And what that means is like you need the money from that sale in order to qualify for the next one. And it's not that it's not that it can't be done. It happens all the time, but there are some additional kind of steps and hoops that you have to jump through and really kind of strategy to put in place so that you have success in that, in both ends, right? In the buy and the sell. I would say it's very common for people to think, to kind of go about it like, oh, you know, once I find the home that I love, then I'll get ready to sell my home. And it's a common thing that a lot of people think of, but really, if you go about it that way, you're most likely going to set yourself up for failure. And the reason being is when you're doing a contingent sale and you're going to be putting offers in, a seller, just as if you're a normal buyer and you don't have to sell, they want to feel confident accepting your offer, that you're going to, you know, get to the finish line, that you're going to close. And when you have that contingent sale on the other side, it kind of adds another leg to it, right? It adds another an added risk, right, of what if you don't sell, right? So like I said, a lot of people go into it like, oh, I'm gonna search for the home, and once I find it, that's when I'm gonna start making a move. Really, how you want to approach it is the total opposite way. If you're searching for homes and you're contingent, what you want to do is you honestly want to have your home ideally up for sale already, and ideally even having an accepted offer already. Because when you go to make those offers, a seller is going to feel much, much more confident in your offer if you, one, already have an accepted offer. It's like, hey, seller, here's my offer. Yes, I have to sell my house, but I've already got a buyer who's interested. And, you know, here's the contract, here's the listing, you can see all this stuff. You know, they're making progress on their end. So it's looking pretty good that you know, we're going to follow through on this end so you can feel confident in accepting our offer. Kind of the next best thing is having your house already listed, right? So, hey, seller, I need to sell my house first, but I've got this great offer. My house is already on the market. You know, check out the listing, see what you think. And in that situation, not only a seller, but the listing agent, they're going to want to see what's that listing look like, right? Are you realistic about the sale, right? Is the home priced right? Does it look like it's going to sell? A seller's probably not going to feel super confident accepting your offer if when they look at it, right, it's like, oh wow, that thing's $100,000 overpriced. Like nobody's going to be interested in that, right? Which means if a seller was to accept your offer, they're just going to be playing the waiting game, right? You know, until you get someone who's actually interested. And chances are that seller's probably not going to wait around that long, especially in a hot market like San Diego. Now, contingent sales in slower markets, they can be easier. I would say you could potentially go about it the way that I said earlier, where, hey, just wait till you find the house and then make a move. But that really only works in really slow markets, because if a seller is comparing your contingent offer of like your house isn't even listed yet, right? You still got to like, you know, clean up the place. You got to like stage it. You got to get photos. You got to take all these steps to even get to the point where you're listing. If they're comparing someone like that versus a buyer who's just like ready to go, you know, they don't have anything holding them back, well, chances are they're probably going to go with the one that's not holding them back because it's way less risk for them. So that's why if you're going about a contingent sale, it's important to have a really good strategy in place and a game plan in order to have success. So like I said, if you want to sell and buy, you should get a great agent to help you out. Feel free to give us a call. But you should have a really good, solid game plan. Like, right, your property should be priced well. You should have really nice photos. You should be aggressively marketing it and ideally trying to capture a really strong offer that is going to, when the time comes for you to make offers, have that other seller feeling confident that you're going to get to the finish line. I always tell people in situations, regardless if it's a contingent sale, a regular sale, anything, always put yourself in the seller's shoes, right? If you were that seller, would you be excited about accepting an offer of someone who, didn't have their house listed and was just kind of like, oh yeah, like, we'll get it listed when we get an accepted offer? That's a huge risk to you, right? I mean, you could spend a month or two just waiting for them to kind of get the ball rolling, and at the end of the day, they may not even sell it, right? And then you're kind of left high and dry. You've missed out on marketing time. You missed out on other opportunities with other buyers. Ultimately, it's just a big risk to you. When if you compare it to someone who, hey, seller, I've already got an accepted offer. Maybe they've even released contingencies already, which would effectively lock that buyer in place so that they know, like, hey, that buyer is committed. I can feel very confident that that sale is going to go through, so I can feel confident accepting that offer, knowing that they should follow through on this home as well. So contingent sales can be done. They just add kind of a few extra layers and elements to it. But there are something like that a lot of people have to go through and have to experience, because a lot of people, if they're in a certain place, they want to avoid, right, the double move, having to move out into maybe like a temporary place and then start the search. Now, obviously that's going to put if you are open to that approach, that's going to put you in the strongest position, because like I said, a buyer where nothing is holding them back is obviously going to appear stronger to a seller than one that has something holding them back. But if you have to do it, the best way to do it is, like I said, get your property listed, have a good strategy in place, and ideally have accepted offers before you're going and out searching. Because the last thing you want to do is be waiting for that dream home to hit, and then when it finally does, you don't have your ducks in a row, so you miss out on your dream home, right? So hope that was helpful for you guys. Like I said, we've touched on it before, but I think it's a great topic to keep coming back to, because it's one that we see popping up all the time in the market, and it's a question that we often get from buyers and sellers. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, 619-887-4429, or you can find us all over the internet at Steele San Diego Homes. So catch you guys next time.